As you guys might have seen, we have Hurricane Milton bearing down on us. We are in the path of destruction, but we don't care. We got cars to build. This SEMA in like 3 weeks, and we just got our new build. Check it out.
All right, so as you guys can see, there's already been a lot of progress made on the chassis, and since time is a factor, we are not alone on this build.
So we have Marlon with us, which you guys might have seen him. He hangs out with us at Drift HQ a lot, goes to the racetrack with us a lot. Him and his boys did all of this sweet work. So you did all this in your own shop, yes? And you're close to us?
Yes, we are in Lakeland, and we did all this here. We start with me and Gustavo, Nando, and his daughter comes, and we get together and start working on this thing. And then by the end of it was just me and Gustavo for the most late nights and stuff.
So you do all of your own fabrication work at the shop. You did all of the bending and the whole fabricating and the welding, and made this chassis what it is, because it's not just a Ford Mustang chassis, right? It bolts up. There's something spicy that it bolts up to.
It's just the skin of the 66 Mustang, but everything inside is like, let's say, the idea was of the chassis. I mean, I seen this car. If you like a Mustang, you have to see Ken Block's Mustang. And the idea behind this thing is, if Ken Block was a drifter,
okay,
I think he would approve. Unfortunately, he's not here with us to tell us what his idea, what he likes. If
give us some insight into it.
I would, really appreciate that. But like I said, unfortunately,
so this is like almost like a build in his memory, so to say, but it's a drift build.
It's a drift build, yes, similar to that. And we did all this there, like the tube chassis, and then we start. This car was supposed to be a mid-engine car years and years ago, and I kind of quit in the build, and I decided to make a drift car.
So you did all the body work in shop too, and all the paint work. So you have paint booths, you have all your prep booths and everything. You did all this at the.
Yes, this was done there. It's a small shop though. We do hot rods. I'm into like the Mustangs. I really like the Mustangs.
Okay, so you do a lot of resto mods here in Florida.
Yes, I don't do restoration. I do resto mods. That's
perfect.
And this thing was all done there. Even the fenders and stuff. The idea first was just to make it quick, make like in fiberglass. But then we're like, we are right here, and then we decided all get together to do this thing to go to SEMA, and then I made it. It's
made it out of metal.
It's metal.
Yeah, it's a real metal fender.
Yeah.
That's really cool. You don't see that. So yeah, big resto mod, guys.
Yeah.
If you're looking to get one built, hit them up. What's the name of your company?
Yelp Motorsports. I just do things for most of the people that knows me.
Okay, so word of mouth.
It's word of mouth.
You don't even advertise.
I don't do that because I don't want to.
That shows your quality. You don't have to advertise.
There's a couple things in here that I don't want to be involved with.
Gotcha.
You guys know how it goes.
Yeah, you pick your work.
It's something that we like, okay, I think this is cool, this works, we get involved to it. If I don't like it, I don't do it.
So don't bring your busted stuff over to his shop. He wants that crispy.
No, actually, I mean, you guys can see there's a lot of, everything that is there is busted because, that's why he goes there. If it was good, it don't have to go there.
Yeah.
So basically the shop look at it inside, there's a junkyard. It's just, that's what it is.
That's every shop,
and there's
everywhere.
things all over the place, especially after this car. We spent, let's say, almost 4 months just messing with this thing to get to this point, and it was a mess there. It's what it is. I mean,
all right, so the other person that helped out Marlon is Nando, and if you guys haven't checked out his page, he builds resto mods, some of the best I've ever seen in the world, but he is renowned all throughout Brazil for building amazing old cars. So he's going to come in. Nando, say hello. He only knows Portuguese, he knows a little bit of English. So tell us about your shop.
Então, eu já estou há mais de 20 anos no mercado, a gente desenvolve esse projeto único, exclusivo. A gente trabalha hoje com o sonho, né? O sonho do cliente, então assim, a gente leva o mais a sério possível. E hoje, a maioria dos projetos nossos são carros antigos com motorização moderna, desde parte de suspensão, freio, linha de arrefecimento, escapamento, motorização. Tudo que tem de melhor que a gente pega aqui dos Estados Unidos, leva para o Brasil e transforma um projeto 100%.
They throw Ferrari motors in almost everything. It's the coolest you've ever seen. Like, oh, F100, Ferrari motor. Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be some of those things. There's a couple that is in the shop there that we're working together. Some Mustangs.
A Mustang.
It'd be so sweet. Like I really like.
Yeah, that's what it's about right there. It's about the love of and the passion of building the cars. So that's why everyone in the car industry can always get along, because you have one thing that brings you all together. And that's the joy and the love of actually doing it, and the passion for wanting to do it and make it amazing. So love these guys. I'm very excited to make this thing happen. So these are the guys that do all the resto mods on these chassis, but who you haven't met yet is the guy like me that does all the fabrication to make all of this pretty work possible. This is Gustavo. He is the mastermind behind all of the fabrication for the chassis rails, for the frame rails, for everything to fit 66 Fastback on top of, I mean, what are these frame rails from?
Those are like, those are made for a drag car, but then we worked a little bit.
Custom made frame rails for some type of drag car. Yeah, so he made this car fit on top of this chassis, and all the subframes fit and stuff. So, Gustavo.
That's the guy that, there's no words to say what this guy did for this car. We spent, let's say, again, almost 4 months with this, just on this, and every single time he was there, he was not there, he didn't complain one single bit, nothing. He was there with me. He actually motivated me to stay there the nights that I want to go home. He's the one that asked me, like, no, let's stay, let's do this. So without this bastard, this guy would not be here.
Did you hear that, Crickett? There's fabricators that don't complain.
Yeah, it's in Portuguese. I can't understand it anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I'll complain for him. How about that?
Oh, yeah, well, I'm good with that.
I'm going to make up for his lack of complaining, and I'm going to do it for the both of us.
Oh,
all right, let's be a teamwork. He has no idea what I'm saying. I love it. All right, so as you can see, a lot of the fab work has already been done. That's why the chassis is already painted and perfect. So we already have engine mounts made for it. So we're going to show you what kind of motor we're going to put in it, which is really cool. And that's where Nando comes into play, because he has 30 years of experience dealing with stuff like this and builds these motors up to the most amount of horsepower you can get out of them. So Nando is going to be taking care of this bad boy right here. So this is a GT350 Mustang Voodoo motor, and it came back home to roost, actually, because this motor used to belong here. This is Adam's old motor out of his Barra Mustang. So I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but this is a really cool tab with a drain tube coming out of it. So, you know, it's really awesome that they would put that there, because, you know, what would actually go there? I don't know. Chris?
Oh, twins. G3770, so still have all the turbo response and still make plenty of peak horsepower. Everything's kind of just tacked and ready to go. Crickett's gonna do some beautiful welding for us, get this thing all wrapped up.
The coolest part about these turbos is one's countered, so they are symmetrical. That's what you love to see.
It sells reverse rotation turbos as well as standard rotation for like your RB or your JZ. So if you're gonna put twin turbos, you might as well make them mirror, because we're all about symmetry. Symmetrical.
One thing about Garrett, they've never failed us. Out of all the turbos that we've ever used, we've never had to replace a Garrett, which is, that to me sells itself, because the last thing you want to do is have some type of oil flange break off or start leaking and you're not allowed to fix it, or something break and seize up on you, and then you have to redo all of your stuff. And if you see that you have to weld things onto your turbos to make them actually work. So trackside, you want reliability, go with Garrett. Never fail. They not only came with a Mustang, they came with a whole parts cart. And actually there's like probably 2 more full of these in the trailer. So we have to unload a whole bunch of parts, and then we're gonna news team assemble this thing and then see where we left off and start fabricating and welding and putting together chassis harness and
we're on a
stuff.
time crunch, so
yeah,
let's get to it.
We're on a time crunch. We have 2 weeks to do this, and we have a hurricane hitting tomorrow evening and all day Thursday. So you might as well just count off Thursday, and then we have all next week. So it's gonna be fun. Let's get to it.
All right, so with most of these resto mod projects, a lot of people steer towards using C6 suspension just because of the availability for the parts. So for road race applications, for drifting, for anything like that. Since this is a drift car, obviously we're gonna go with our Fab setup for it. We got all fresh hardware and everything for it. We also have our new Series BC that have the monoball upper and lower shocks, so it kind of reduces that failure point that they did have a tendency to break at. The nice thing is when you build everything around a Corvette suspension, everything Corvette will bolt up to the car. So all the aftermarket parts that we need are just Corvette based. The Fab is great for this situation because it maintains a lot of the suspension geometry we need for drifting, obviously, and a ridiculous amount of angle. A lot of your restriction points are normally your chassis when it comes to this type of stuff, but because the wheel wells are so open, we'll be able to utilize pretty much all of the angle that the Fab has to offer. The BCs are great in this application as well because BC offers the custom spring rates, and because of this car being, for one, a Frankenstein motor setup, and also the weight distribution, everything being completely different from a Corvette, we can dial our spring rates into be ideal for our situation in this car.
Hurricane prep again, and we have to get everything out of this shop that is 2 feet and under off the ground or to our other shop, because this fills up with water. If you want to come with me over here, I'll show you my water line from the last storm on my Garrett. This is how deep the water was in the shop for about 2 weeks. So everything that is this high and lower we got rid of that can't get ruined. So like all my aluminum's still on the ground, it's fine and won't get ruined. Most of our stuff is on caster wheels and everything is up at least 3 feet off the ground. So we planned this accordingly when we were building this shop to be able to move everything fast. So if we did have a hurricane coming like it is now, we're able to get it out of here and get this whole place prepped in about half a day, because then after we're done here, we're all gonna go home and prep our houses. A lot of duct tape, Visqueen, and sandbags. It's gonna be awesome. We moved everything from our shop that can't get wet to higher ground. So this shop is actually like 2.5, 3 feet higher than our actual Drift HQ shop. So we're taking everything that we can, welders, tire machines, all of our nice Viper chairs, plasma cutter, all of our motors and stuff that we build, and bringing them over here, because the last hurricane that we got, the water was up to here in our shop. So we're gonna preemptively get everything out of there and bring it in here. So as you can see, Donnie is bringing in the last vestiges of it. We're almost done.
You need to prematurely evacuate.
Yeah, prematurely evacuate, Donnie. That's right. So Marlon is back here working with Gustavo with the new radium cell that they got. So we're working in partnership with Radium on this build, and they gave us the nastiest fuel cell ever. Look at how crispy that is. Custom plates, love it. How big is this cell?
14 gallons.
14 gallons, all right. So this thing can party for a long time.
Seen this stuff?
Yeah, the drop-in.
Yeah. My other one, I had to take the whole thing. Now this one is just a couple bolts. Thing, you know.
So you already have the level sensor already pre-wired for it and everything too, huh?
It came with it.
That's awesome.
Just like that.
Yeah, with that size tank, you definitely need to know how much you got left. So what's the plans for it? What do you want to drift it? You're gonna stay away from everyone with this car, hopefully, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that was the plan with the other one, and you see, I found the wall in a 40.
Yeah. Stay away from walls and stay away from friends.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, because your friends will run into you. This bad boy is going to be hosted in one of the main booths at SEMA. I'm very excited for it. I'll reveal who soon. Probably already know. I mean, honestly, if it's me talking about it, you know who it is. Kind of the right color. There's a very beautiful pairing going on back here as well. You got the nice radium fuel cell and then the winner's diff, brought to you by Drift HQ. So they already had all of this stuff set up, so we just left that bad boy right in there and it's ready to go. Quick changes are awesome. So you can change it depending on your track conditions, your wheel speed, everything, and it takes about 10 minutes to actually change it out, and then you're good to go. It's an absolute beautiful thing. And it can handle the power. You usually get really strong axles with it, so the only thing that's gonna break in between there next would be your drive shaft. So we'll see what kind we got coming up. I don't know yet. I'm just seeing this stuff for the first time. It's all beautiful. I'm very excited.
So as with the front of the car, we are also doing last tab on the rear. This still utilizes your stock knuckle. I believe they have another kit that uses an aftermarket knuckle that already has the provisions for the dual caliper. This one we're actually gonna be using inline hydro, so we're gonna run the singular caliper in the back. But this changes a few of your pickup points you can see here for the toe gain bracket, and it gives you a bunch of different slots and different mounting positions to change the amount of mechanical grip you want to get on the car, depending on your power level and also what kind of racing you're doing.
while Nando's over there working on doing bearings on the motor, I'm going to take apart these sweet Garrett turbos and finish weld the intercooler piping, or the flange right there, because it's getting some sweet HD clamps, brought to you by Vibrant, of course. Always Vibrant. They're always hooking us up and helping us out. And this bad boy is going to be at the Vibrant booth. I'm very excited for that. So it's getting all the goodies from Vibrant Performance, which we get from Drift HQ. So if you guys need to order some, you can order it from us or from vibrantperformance.com. But don't forget, every $5 you spend at drifthq.com gets you a chance to win that bad boy. As you guys might have heard, we're giving away a Mustang next. We have an RTR supercharged Mustang that's Adam's own personal car. So we're just looking it over right now, and we've never dealt with Mustangs really. Well, Chris has in his past.
Unfortunately. But yeah, no, I mean, it's a bad thing. He's been driving this thing around. He's been dailying it. It's survived a lot of his abuse, so definitely survive yours.
I can kind of make you out.
Paragon. Front boys. The size of them Johnnies. 6 piston front, 4 piston rears, because when you go fast, you gotta stop fast too.
And look good while you're doing it.
Look real good while you're doing it. Look at that. It goes on the back side, obviously, but just get an idea. The goods. Big fan.
So we were working with Treadstone on this, and they make awesome intercoolers. If you haven't seen all of our builds, they all have Treadstone intercoolers on them, except for one. So like out of 9 cars that we've built on this channel in the past 2 years, every single one of them has Treadstone, and they produce phenomenal horsepower results. They're very nice, they flow really well. So I'm gonna weld this one up and finish it up. They got everything tacked in place for me, made everything nice and easy, so everything just needs to be finish welded. So we're gonna weld these bad boys up and put it all together. Treadstone is also in Florida. They are Florida, man. So it's really cool. They're probably riding out the hurricane just like we are. They're probably still working too. You know, don't forget to order you a new intercooler for your car. They're sweet.
So this car is expected to make a good bit of power, so you want axles that are going to stand up to the task. So we got the WiseFab axles to accommodate with our WiseFab rear. WiseFab actually already has axles preset for length, so you don't have to go through the lengthy process of trying to modify and check and make sure that your axles actually have the appropriate amount of stretch and travel and everything like that. So these ones are already designed for our C6 subframe. So I'm just going to plop these bad boys in, these very long boys.
Look at those things. If you're running 2 batteries with the brackets,
Got the terminals looking great. So that means what? You can jump it from the outside the car?
now this the line it's gonna be, we're gonna bridge the batteries together, and then it's gonna go from here, just come this way. So from outside of the car, all goes through here into the front, to the engine, and to the back. So there'll be no wires here, nothing that. You're not gonna see no wires inside the car. Everything is going like this one. It comes from underneath, and everything is going from under the car. Like the only wires is gonna be the ones from another set of terminals like this to here, and then the ones from here going towards the motor. That's it, nothing else.
So we got a lot of stuff done yesterday. We got all the suspension done, brakes done. I'm working on all the brake hard lines, going to the pedal box. The guys have some stuff they have to take care of over by their shop, which is closer to where the Hurricane is hitting. So we got left behind to kind of solo out. So Crickett's doing a bunch of fab stuff, finish welding, getting some pipes and stuff put together, intercooler piping. I will be working on brake lines. And if you see the spaghetti behind me, this is not a Hurricane chart.
Yeah, that one looks like one.
These are all rock lights that they put inside and outside of the car. I think there's 12 total. So the thing's got a sweet Haltech PDM in it. So I will be wiring all of these up to the Haltech PDM so they can be turned on buttons. So probably be outside of the car on one button and inside of the car on another button. I think these things only draw a couple amps, but I just have to find a nice way to run all of this into the car without it looking like.
All right, so we have basically got as far as we can on this car today with the storm impacting us. I just got my evacuation notice from my house, so I'm gonna get out of here. Chris is still gonna do a little wiring, finish up his rock lights and whatnot, just tidying up. But otherwise, we are in full prep mode. We hope everybody that's watching this has stayed safe from the storm. We're gonna do the same. And we stocked up on beer, so I'm pretty ready.
Yeah. Crickett's in a little bit of a flood zone over there. My house sits a little bit higher and I'm a little closer to the compound, so I got a little less to worry about. So yeah, like you said, I'm gonna work on the wiring a little bit, run some brake lines if I can get this stainless steel brake line to actually want to flare. Yeah, we're getting somewhere.
Not bad progress for Hurricane week, you know?
A day and a quarter?
A day and a quarter, yeah. Everything's back together. Now we just throw the motor in there and do some more fab work.
Yeah.
All the
got a lot
wiring.
of progress done on the engine, so that's sweet. So I think they're ready to put the pan on there, and then the rest was just front end accessories so they can get the crank pulley put on. And then we can get the turbo manifolds and everything mocked up so Crickett can start doing all of the pretty stuff. Get some cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. So like, subscribe, comment. Yeah. We'll let you know how we do, how we make out after the storm.
Oh, you'll see.
Yeah, you'll see. Hopefully it's not swamp out. I gotta. See you guys. I gotta make it to work on Friday. You never know. Might need to get out, or in case someone gets mouthy.